Yovheliym, Jubilees, chapter 4. And in the 3rd week, in the 2nd Jubilee, she gave birth to Cain. And in the 4th, she gave birth to Havel. And in the 5th, she gave birth to her daughter, Awan. And in the 1st year of the 3rd Jubilee, Cain slew Havel, because Elohim accepted the sacrifice of Havel and did not accept the offering of Cain. And he slew him in the field, and his blood cried out from the ground to heaven, complaining because he had slain him. And Yahuah reproved Cain because he had slain him. And he made him a fugitive on the earth because of the blood of his brother, and he cursed him upon the earth. And on this account it is written in the heavenly tablets, "Cursed is he who smites his neighbor treacherously." And let all who have seen and heard say, "So be it." And the man who has seen and not declared it, let him be accursed as the other. And for this reason we announce when we come before Yahuah, Eloheinu, all the sin which is committed in heaven and on earth, and in light and in darkness, and in everywhere. And Adam and his woman mourned for Havel 4 weeks of years. And in the 4th year of the 5th week, they became joyful. And Adam knew his woman again, and she bore him a son, and he called his name Sheth. For he said, Yahuah has raised up a second seed unto us on the earth instead of Havel, for Cain slew him. And in the 6th week, he begot his daughter Azurah. And Cain took Awan, his sister, to be his woman, and she bore him Enoch at the close of the 4th Jubilee. And in the 1st year of the 1st week of the 5th Jubilee, houses were built on the earth, and Cain built a city and called its name after his son Enoch. And Adam knew Chua his woman, and she bore him yet 9 sons. And in the 5th week of the 5th Jubilee, Sheth took Azurah his sister to be his woman. And in the 4th year of the 6th week, she bore him Enoch. And he began to call on the name of Yahuah on the earth. And the 7th Jubilee, in the 3rd week, Enoch took Noam, his sister, to be his woman. And she bore him a son in the 3rd year of the 5th week, and he called his name Qayin. And at the close of the 8th Jubilee, Qayin took Muleli, his sister, to be his woman. And she bore him a son in the 9th Jubilee, and in the 1st week, in the 3rd year of this week, and he called his name Mahalalel. And in the 2nd week of the 10th Jubilee, Mahalalel took unto him to be his woman Dinah, the daughter of Barachiel, the daughter of his father's brother. And she bore him a son in the 3rd week, in the 6th year, and he called his name Yared. For in his days the angels of Yahuah descended on the earth, those who are named the Watchers, that they should instruct the children of men, that they should do judgment and uprightness on earth. And in the 11th Jubilee, Yared took to himself a woman, and her name was Baraka, the daughter of Rasuliel, a daughter of his father's brother, in the 4th week of this Jubilee. And she bore him a son in the 5th week, in the 4th year of the Jubilee, and he called his name Enoch. And he was the first among men that were born on earth who learned writing and knowledge and wisdom, who wrote down the signs of heaven according to the order of their months in a Cepher, that men might know the seasons of the years according to the order of their separate months. And he was the first to write a testimony, and he testified to the sons of men among the generations of the earth, and recounted the weeks of Jubilees, and made known to them the days of the years, and make in order the months, and recounted the Shabbats of the years, as we made them known to him. And what was, and what will be, he saw in a vision in his sleep, as it will happen to the children of men throughout their generations unto the day of judgment. And he saw and understood everything, and wrote his testimony, and placed the testimony on the earth for all the children of men and for their generations. And in the 12th Jubilee, in the 7th week thereof, he took to himself a woman, and her name was Edna, the daughter of Denal, and the daughter of his father's brother. And in the 6th year, in this week, she bore him a son and called his name Methuselah. And he was moreover with the angels of Elohim these 6 jubilees of years. And they showed him everything which is on the earth and in heavens, and the rule of the sun. And he wrote down everything. And he testified to the watchers who had sinned with the daughters of men, for these had begun to unite themselves so as to be defiled with the daughters of men, and Enoch testified against him. And he was taken from amongst the children of men, and we conducted him into the Garden of Eden in majesty and honor. And behold, there he writes down the condemnation and judgment of the world, and all the wickedness of the children of men. And on account of it, Elohim brought the waters of the flood upon the land of Eden, for there he was set as a sign, and that he should testify against all the children of men, that he should recount all the deeds of the generations until the day of condemnation. And he burnt the incense of the sanctuary, even sweet spices acceptable before Yahuah on the mount. For Yahuah has 4 places on the earth: the Garden of Eden, the Mount of the East, this mountain on which you are this day, Mount Sinai, and Mount Sion, which will be sanctified in the new creation for a sanctification of the earth. Through it will the earth be sanctified from all its guilt and its uncleanness throughout the generations of the world. And in the 14th Jubilee, Methuselah took unto himself a woman, Edna, the daughter of Azrael, the daughter of his father's brother, in the 3rd week, in the 1st year of this week. And he begat a son, and called his name Lamech. And in the 15th Jubilee, in the 3rd week, Lamech took to himself a woman, and her name was Betanus, the daughter of Barachiel, the daughter of his father's brother. And in this week she bore him a son, and he called his name Noach, saying, This one will comfort me for my trouble and all my work, and for the ground which Yahuah has cursed. And at the close of the 19th Jubilee, in the 7th week, in the 6th year thereof, Adam died, and all his sons buried him in the land of his creation. And he was the first to be buried in the earth. And he lacked 70 years of 1,000 years. For the 1,000 years are as one day in the testimony of the heavens. And therefore was it written concerning the tree of knowledge, On the day that ye eat thereof, ye shall die. For this reason he did not complete the years of this day, for he died during it. At the close of this jubilee, Cain was killed after him in the same year, and his house fell upon him, and he died in the midst of his house, and he was killed by its stones. For with a stone he had killed Yovheliym, and by a stone was he killed in righteous judgment. For this reason it was ordained on the heavenly tablets, with the instrument with which a man kills his neighbor, with the same shall he be killed after the manner that he wounded him, and in like manner shall they deal with him. And in the 25th Jubilee, Noach took himself a woman, and her name was Imzara, the daughter of Rachel, the daughter of his father's brother. In the 1st year, in the 5th week, and in the 3rd year thereof she bore him Shem, and in the 5th year thereof she bore him Cam. And in the 1st year of the 6th week she bore him Japheth.